And welcome back, everybody, to the Astronauts Pro Rocket League Invitational, powered by Beyond Entertainment and ASTRO Gaming. My name's The Pash. Casting alongside me for this match will be Ninja Rider, and we are coming to you across time and space to bring you this rebroadcast of the events of the Astronauts Pro Invitational as they happen. Our first match of the night has already been played. It was Energy getting taken down by Ghost Gaming that have looked definitely flashy and interesting.
Yeah, it has looked pretty interesting, actually. Ghost coming out nicely with a 3-1 victory, trying to get some things in order, and they were looking pretty strong, I have to admit. Some high-end plays and a good reactionary plays, too. It seems like they're looking pretty strong for the upcoming RLCS season.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The coach of Ghost Gaming has announced or has talked to us before the tournament and has said, well, there's going to be some improvements. We've been working on things. Maybe we can show them tonight, and show them they absolutely did. So Ghost Gaming already in the upper bracket final, but we're now going to find out their opponents, and it's going to be one of Cloud9 or Spacestation Gaming. Another David versus Goliath situation, another squad with strong results, although they have certainly been used to stronger results when it comes to Cloud9. They they did get to day 3 of, or the final day of pretty much anything they played in, but I'm pretty sure they would have wanted to get further than that.
Yeah, and Spacestation actually took down Cloud9 in the last RLCS week play. So I mean, I still think that Spacestation have their work cut out for them. Regulars here at Beyond, it's still going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see how this match is going to stack up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we don't want to wait for too long. Players are ready and itching to go. I'm going to ask you for a prediction. Who do you think will be taking this? Spacestation took it last time. The two teams duked it out directly, but you know, the results the Cloud9 has brought in, even though they are used to performing a little better as far as their placement in tournaments go, they do still speak for themselves. And with Fireburner as their new coach,
the 50s.
Yeah, exactly.
God. I think Cloud9 have been working on a lot of things. Their team chemistry has to be much better. And Spacestation, they have a lot to prove here. But I still think that Cloud9 is going to bring it. This is a big tournament. A lot of money on the line. It's theirs to lose.
Here we go. Game number 1 out of a potential 5. Cloud9 on blue and Spacestation Gaming on orange. $3,000 on the line for the first place team in this tournament. Who will it be? We are finding out, or we are in the process of finding out, as we see Gimmick in the corner, losing control of the ball. Sypical and Arsenal kind of stumbling over one another. Sypical's got this ball up in the air. Tormund with a clear pass onto Gimmick, intercepted by Arsenal, bounces it off the sideline, and Tormund will be happy to pick this one up. Sets a pass up for Gimmick. That is intercepted and saved by AXB, and what an important touch that was.
An important touch indeed as AXB pops up here. Can't get any control on it. I think he was low on boost there. Sypical just moving it downfield. It's not going to be enough. And already Cloud9 starting to figure out the domination station setup here. But Space Station still way up in the air on this. It's pretty much just a midfield battle all the way through.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Whoever wins the midfield will have control of this game. Good pass on to Sypical. Clear comes out from Squishy. AXB is going to play that back on blue, but Squishy pops it high into the air. Arsenal, weak touch. Tormund will be getting the ball past him. Try to set up a double tap off the side wall, but won't be able to do that. We are seeing some positioning issues from Space Station Gaming. More than once they've sent 2 players after the same ball, bunching up in one spot, opening up the entire other wing for their opponent's team. I'm Gimmick off the backboard. That's a double commit, and that is going to be an open net, but Sypical blows up Squishy and sends the ball away off into the corner. What a clutch defensive play for Space Station.
But they're still not out of the danger zone yet. Anytime Cloud9 comes at your box, you got to watch out.
You certainly will. Sypical is keeping the ball away. Squishy takes his life, and then the ball sends it past the midfield line. And Tormund with a shot on target, just tucked underneath the crossbar. Cloud9 find the board first.
Trying to see from Sypical's point of view here. And he just didn't quite have a read on it. That was going to be a tough one to try to figure out with the way Tormund was attacking the ball. But yeah, there you go. Cloud9 finally on the board after 2 minutes of play. And they make it look so easy. Every time I watch these guys play.
They always do.
Oh, man.
They always do. I mean, it's not a coincidence that Gimmick was named the DreamHack Dallas MVP.
Of course.
And that's not his first MVP title by a long shot.
Not AXP
They have been around
taking
in
a
the scene.
shot there. Fantastic play, but Gimmick on the clearance. Just trying to move it out of their side. It's not going to work. Torment on the backboard, looking for a pass over to Gimmick, as Squishy was demoed on that play. And I think that's something that Space Station needs to start taking advantage of. Get in Cloud9's face. Don't allow them to move the ball at all. As Typical launches one at the net. There it is indeed.
And he just had a lot of time with that. Arsenal sets it up into the corner. Torment tries to get it out, loses to 50 against Sipical, and then he has lots of time to get that ball in front of the net and give it that extra tiny shove that it needs to go in at an angle. Space Station do find the board. Cloud9 being a little too lax on their defense for that one, but Space Station will gladly take the opportunity, and that's going to be a crossfield shot. Well, not really crossfield from the midfield point, but ultimately, what a 50, what a pinch.
Pinch indeed. I mean, I like the idea of the pass, but they need to start calling the coverage and paying attention to where the opponent is. I think Cloud9's getting a little bit lost in the sauce when it comes to watching where Space Station is. Granted, Space Station is starting to play that little bit of slapstick kind of play where they just get in everyone's face, which is what they need to do. Let's just see if it's going to work out here. Cloud9 can change the game in an instant, though.
They certainly can. They got plenty of time to do it. 2 minutes still on the clock, nothing to scoff at. As Squishy pushes forward, out of boost off the corner, and that's a save from Arsenal, who comes flying in towards the backboard and gets a touch on the ball. What a save indeed, but Cloud9 still not done quite yet. Important touch by AXB, but Squishy will just make Sipical jump into thin air. Gimmick pushing forward now as well. Torment getting a shot off target, and that is going to come off the post. Arsenal will save the follow-up from Squishy. And Gimmick, low on boost, has to retreat, leaves the ball to Arsenal, who tries his best to start a counter here. Burns all of his boost tank, but that pass will find Squishy. What will he do against AXB? Gets it just past him. A tiny touch, not enough to send the ball off course.
And Gimmick right here. A good pass up to Squishy, was moving forward just a little bit. Not even the quickest play we've ever seen. Just juked out AXB. It was going to be a tough one to read. Of course, with Squishy behind the wheel.
2-2 now. Minute and 17 left on the clock. From this point onward, every goal could be the deciding factor. It is only game one, but it will pave the road. A road to the upper bracket final versus Ghost Gaming. Here comes AXB. Can't quite find the angle on the net. Arsenal in the corner misses the touch. Gimmick beats Sipical to the ball. Sends one on target. It's just wide by a few inches. Space Station getting away with a black eye on that one. Gimmick up in the air versus AXB. Arsenal follows up another aerial clash. The third one's between Sipical and Squishy. And Sipical pushes it forward. Gimmick gets blown up in the corner. AXB gets a ball off of the backboard, but no one in a good position to capitalize on it. As 30 seconds hit the clock, Space Station really looking for that goal. Squishy, long-range clear, just what Cloud9 needs right now. Gimmick sends that off into the corner. Arsenal will pick up the ball, juggle it once, gets it past Gimmick. Squishy comes in from the goal line, sends it towards the midfield. As the final 10 seconds are on the clock, Cloud9 mounting their final defense. Good touch from AXB keeps Gimmick away. Torment throwing himself into the fray. That's just going to come into the infield. Important touch right there by AXB to send the ball back out into the outfield. Torment once more trying to find the backboard, but this ball is going to touch the ground. We are in overtime in game one.
Yeah, smart move there by Space Station. Just go ahead and shut down the play. They're not going to be able to move it past the midfield line, so you might as well just start the overtime and get reset. Here we go. Arsenal with a shot that will go wide. Torment on the pickup. Typical, a good challenge. That will pop up here and set up for AXB, but challenged by Squishy. That sets up Gimmick looking for the fake. Arsenal had to come off the sidewall for that. And honestly, it looks like Space Station are trying to amp up the play, but Cloud9 starting to shut them down instead of the other way around.
Good save by AXB. Squishy trying the slow play. Not finding success here. 30 seconds into overtime. AXB pops the ball up, leaves it like a tee and on the goal pitch. And Cloud9 gladly will take control of this ball. Torment, Gimmick, shot on target off the backboard. AXB gets blown up on the goal line, but Sipical is the savior sends the ball into the outfield, alleviates the pressure that Cloud9 had set up. The touch by Squishy, pass on to Gimmick, tries to convert, it is wide, gets a second touch, tries to set it up. But no one is there to pick up on the shot. Best efforts from both teams to score, but neither finding that goal in overtime. AXB off of the ceiling, comes down to the corner, tries to set something up for Arsenal. It's going to pop that straight back up. AXB and Arsenal completely out of boost. Typical going to have to tag in for them. So AXB has refreshed on the boost. That's a dangerous touch off the side wall. Typical keeps that ball off of Gimmick. And Squishy looking to center that one.
Oh, that's a tee up.
Torment will pick it up. Gets a touch of it. Doesn't have a flip, though. So AXB will be able to take this ball mid-air. That's a dangerous touch, but Squishy not fast enough to get a touch on this. Does get the angle, but it was a few inches too late. Now Typical, he has the flip reset, doesn't use it. Follow-up shot hits the crossbar.
Oh,
and
no!
The third one hits the backboard. That was a huge chance. Typical will be able to return in time to defend against the shot, but that was a clear-cut 99.9% chance, and Cloud9 will punish them for it. Gimmick scores it, takes it in overtime.
I'm sorry, Space Station, but that was rightfully punished here. Squishy with a beautiful pass off of the corner there. AXB and Arsenal both in the net. Arsenal trying to predict what Gimmick was going to do, but who can ever predict what Gimmick will do? Because you really can't. Even us as casters who know what's going on around the pitch, there's just no way. Suddenly out of nowhere, Gimmick is exactly where he needs to be, makes it happen, and a well done by Cloud9. That was a rough game, though, all the way through.
It certainly was. There was a bit of disarray on both teams during certain stages of the game. Space Station had some trouble with their positioning, with their coordination in the first half, where we saw them bunch up in one spot, pretty much leaving one side of the pitch, one half of the pitch completely uncovered, which Cloud9 quickly used to try and make strikes through that open area. But we have seen Cloud9 more surgical before. Mm-hmm. This has been both teams not really playing at their best for game one. But yet again, we've seen pretty much the same thing when Energy played Ghost Gaming. First game was, just feeling each other out. And then with game two, things really started ramping up. So let's see if the same thing will happen in this series.
I think it will. I think the teams are going to start to spread out a little bit. They're going to be able to read each other a little bit better. And the challenges, it'll all be all about the challenges. And with Fireburner in Cloud9's corners, Gimmick takes a shot. It will not be wide enough. It's beautifully placed pass, though, straight to him. But with Fireburner on the side of Cloud9 nowadays, I'm kind of wondering if the 50 God will start to rear his head in the training of Cloud9. Typical takes another shot. It will be high.
Well, Torment and Squishy on the same spot. They quickly spread out. Gimmick gets through. Still has a bit of boost left, but Typical is too fast for him. Runs away with the ball. Squishy returning home. Just waiting for the opportunity to pass it. Both the intended recipient and the interceptor missed the opportunity. Arsenal with a knockdown attempt. Slowed the ball just right. Typical now looking for his double. Triple won't get a quadruple. And then AXB gets taken out of prime scoring position by Gimmick. Perfect demolition at a perfect time.
People say demolition should be taken out of the game as Arsenal takes a shot, stopped by Gimmick again. Gimmick being the defensive powerhouse as well. I kind of think that's a little strange for him, but he's definitely rounding out his Torment, going way too fast for that shot. Squishy for another one, but just crosses harmlessly in front of the net. And the bump games are starting for sure. We'll have to see how this pans out for both squads, as it seems like Cloud9 is getting the best of these challenges pretty much all the time.
Yeah, right now, both teams are not really making full use of the opportunities they play themselves into. With Cloud9, that should have been scored too. Space Station now have the opportunity for the counter. Typical trying to cause some disarray on the goal line. Can't quite make it happen as Torment sets one on target. That goal comes off the crossbar. The second attempt, not enough momentum behind their Arsenal. Coming up the backboard, and then AXB jumps the hell in there to clear the ball away yet again. A chance not made use of. Both teams have had plenty of opportunities to score. Now Arsenal is looking for one. Comes off the backboard. Typical looking for the angle. Gimmick will clear it. And that'll buy them a couple of seconds to rearrange themselves.
Halftime right here as AXB comes off the wall, looking for Arsenal. Got the touch! Squishy barely able to get the nose on it to send that one towards the corner, and Cloud9 are all over each other at the moment. But a slow play coming through here. Gimmick will take over. Arsenal looking for, I think that was Sipical, but Sipical had needed boost. I don't know if he called it, but Torment on the slow play. Fakes out one, fakes out two. Arsenal is up. Challenged by Squishy. Challenged now by Gimmick towards the net. It was an awkward shot. Sipical will clear it away. And that was a massive turnaround there for Cloud9. Lots of pressure coming out. But they got to rotate back onto defense as quick as possible. Say, never mind. Let's send it away.
Send it away indeed as Arsenal tries to take this ball under control. Cloud9 relentless in their aggression right now. They want to get a goal. This feels like a game that should have had plenty of scoring, but as it stands, those are donuts on the scoreboard. Neither team finding the net just yet, which surprises me because, again, the opportunities have been plenty. Space Station in their own half. Cloud9 off the backboard. Save! Another save! Arsenal is the one to save it this time. What a defense from Space Station. They have saved a couple of 100%ers. And now Torment looking for the slow play with a dribble. AXB is the one to save that one. Keeps the net clean. Another wraparound attempt coming in from Gimmick. Sipical has that one covered. And Space Station, they need space to breathe. And
empty
no Sipical,
net.
he comes through. Oh, they score it. They score it. What an assault from Cloud9 by Space Station. They sneak away with it.
Sipical low on boost. Arsenal sneaking up on that, and Cloud9 were grouped up on each other. They triple committed like crazy. And of course, you got to take advantage of it. And luckily for Space Station Gaming, Sipical was right there to do just that. But now Cloud9's going to crank it to 11.
Oh, they pretty much have to, and they also need to start making use of the goal-scoring opportunities, but that goal empowered Space Station. They are on fire right now. Lots of boost now in their tanks.
Oh, what a block.
For failing to find the net for 4 whole minutes now, they're all up in Cloud9's turf. Clear attempt. Arsenal blocks it in the midfield. AXB wants to get the hell in there, launches a shot on target, and makes it 2.
I love this bounce shot right here. Arsenal with a nice stop here. AXB realizing what was going on. Gimmick on the retreat. Torment trying to figure out where he was going to go with it, and he was there. Just could not get there quite in time. You never know if the shot's going to come behind you. So Torment trying to play a little bit conservative, but it ended up biting him right there. And now with just about 30 seconds left, Space Station up by 2, and I have a feeling Space Station might take this as Gimmick says no. Oh, never mind. Tries to shut me up with that crossbar right there. No, I'm sorry. It was the post. Shut me down.
That is crazy. That would have been a goal and a half from Gimmick right there.
Unfortunately, it only scores this one.
Crazy stuff.
Oh, there it is.
Gets it straight in front of Squishy's nose. All he has to do is give it a nudge. They're within 16 seconds. Can they tie this up?
And all those players who give up in the last minute when you're down by 2 goals, this is why you don't. 16 seconds is enough time to score 1 goal. Don't do that in ranked, people, and this is why.
Yeah, gotta keep fighting until the very end, but so will Space Station. Final 10 seconds now on the board. Ball is deep inside Cloud9 territory. Gimmick, Squishy is ready on the side wall. He waits for it until the very last moment. Sipical takes the ball away, tries to burn as much time as possible off the side wall. This is going to touch the ground, and Space Station will tie up the series 1 game apiece.
Space Station playing hungry, and I like it. It kind of feels like Space Station is trying to defend the home front. Sipical and Arsenal play in the Beyond tournaments all of the time. They're kind of like stars here, if you will. And Cloud9 invading. Clearly, at least if you go by records, Cloud9 is technically the better team, if you go by that. But Space Station are playing so aggressive. They're playing fast and loose, and it's working for them. Cloud9 need to have a strategy, a very strict sort of regimen when they get into a match. And Space Station is just picking that apart by being as random as possible.
And now you got to think, like, if they had converted on that 100% chance in that game 1 overtime, they could be taking Cloud9 to a game 3 match point at this rate. So now they've got to be kicking themselves doubly for that mistake, and Cloud9 are going to be happy about it, and more importantly, that they punish them accordingly. 1 game apiece now, so it is still anyone's series. Sipical has his shot blocked. AXB keeps the ball alive. Sipical sends it back to the outfield, a little too far for Arsenal. Has to divert on his path, send it to the sidelines, allowing Cloud9 an opportunity to get in there, straight down in front of the net.
What?
Arsenal! How the hell does he keep pulling these saves?
I have no idea. He's just putting his car in play. That's about it, and it's working out for him so far. I don't want to call it luck because he has to be there to make it happen, but it's working out for him so far. Still early goings here at Game 3, though.
Again, Space Station going to be happy about that when they launch one on target. Saved by Gimmick. Picked up by Squishy. Flicks it over Arsenal. Sends it off to the sidelines. Squishy and Sipical take each other out. Arsenal is going to buy some time for Sipical to respawn. He does so in the right corner as well, allowing him to quickly join the fray. As Squishy is looking to alleviate some pressure, uses all of his boost to jump off of the side wall, push that ball further into Space Station territory. Wide clear. Arsenal will be looking to pick that one up. Squishy intercepts it. Still scoreless. In game number 3.
Squishy on the block here. Torment out of the corner, just looking for a bit of a clear here. Tries to carry it, and it looks like Cloud9 are just a little bit discombobulated. They're trying to slow things down a little bit here. Finally able to get a clear is Space Station. And again, some discombobulation. It seems like every time we get on Urban Central, the teams get a little bit messed up as far as their strategies go. Just moving a little bit too far ahead as AXP takes a shot. Squishy will knock it away. Back into the same corner. Arsenal on the pickup, waiting for AXP to get there. Trying to hand it off, but Squishy says, no way. That will not happen in my crease.
Yeah, it was a good idea on that play, but it just took a little bit too long. You don't have that much time when you're deep inside your opponent's territory.
Not at this level. No way. You know, RLRS level. Well, that's probably not even there either.
Oh, can get it. Squishy gets the save. Arsenal looking for the second touch. Squishy bumping Sipical away, blocking his shot here as well. Gimmick.
They're grouped.
Gimmick bumping into both Sipical and Arsenal, and that is just the disruption that they need to open up the net. Cloud9 with the physical plays.
And SSG got all grouped up here in the midfield. AXP got bumped. Sipical was on his way back. He didn't have any boost, or not much boost at least, trying to make what he had work, and it just was not enough. Cloud9 taking the halftime lead here, and that might be the kicker here to send it into the game-winning, or the match-winning game. We'll have to see, though. I mean, Space Station can just pull something out of nowhere. Sipical goes for a shot. Squishy can't get it away. Arsenal, could he do it?
That's it up.
AXP right there.
That's it.
Beautiful play.
Yep, they knew exactly what they had to do. They had 3 attempts right here. Arsenal gets the block, and then he comes off of the backboard, sets a perfect ball up for AXP. You got to have car control to do that. Took them 3 attempts, but they played that about as perfectly as they could have, and they tie the game up.
Can't get much better than high-level Rocket League right here. Both teams fighting tooth and nail to win this thing. Like you said, we're tied up at 1, and it's anyone's match at this, or anyone's game, I should say, at this point. Sipical in the speed play. Torment to shut that down. Squishy coming out of the corner, but Arsenal the challenge. Just moves it to the middle where Gimmick is waiting. Tries to pop it up above the XP. That doesn't work at all. Finally, it's a clearance. Finally, a shot.
Oh my goodness, that would have been a sick double tap from Gimmick. Misses the target by inches on the second touch, and now the quick counter opportunity for Space Station. XP gets blown up, but not before he passes a play to Arsenal. Torment getting himself the save here. Gimmick with the back pass. Torment will open up another play, sets up a perfect pass to Squishy. Comes off of the backboard, comes down in front of the net. Gimmick threading the needle on that one. Perfectly played. Cloud9 take the lead back.
And Arsenal here was in net. He thought about going up the wall, and then he realized he was just in a terrible spot. Nobody defending that backboard, and you have to do that with Cloud9 pretty much all the way through. And so Cloud9 take the lead here, and Space Station just need to step up that aggression that they had before. They're not displaying.
Oh, that's a beautiful pass. Oh, Squishy plays it high. Second attempt from Gimmick, Torment, though, and that'll find the net, and with the lead is at 2.
Yeah, Space Station again. They're not challenging the ball, and then when someone isn't there to challenge it, all 3 go for it. They're all messed up right now. It's tough to watch, but Cloud9 will take it.
That certainly looks like it. Space Station looked so crisp. for that previous game, for large stages of this one, but those defensive issues are now creeping back on them. Something they dealt with in the first half of game 1 already, and it's just getting worse at this point. This is a good pass onto Arsenal. Passes it back onto Sipico. What a passing play that was. 1-2 and in.
This is actually pretty cool. Squishy couldn't get control of it, so Sipico knocks it to the side. Arsenal, knowing Sipico is there, nice little sideways touch over, and it looks like a backflip there for Gimmick, who was trying to double jump, but I don't think he would have got that anyways. And so we're within 1 goal of a tie. Less than a minute. Space Station still in this.
Yep, there is enough time to get this game tied up. With a tied series, both games so far have gone to overtime. Excuse me, no, the second one hasn't gone to overtime. It almost went to overtime. As it stands, it is an extremely tight series. And yet again, the underdogs are holding their own against what everyone expected would be the huge favorite. But it's more of a matter that Cloud9 isn't really using their chances to their fullest. As it stands, 15 seconds, and Torment from the corner, a slow floater, increases the lead to 2.
Yeah, Arsenal just trying to move it over to Sipico. Sipico actually misses that boost. He couldn't really get to the ball as quickly as he would have liked, it seemed like. But Torment challenging nicely and gets it exactly where he needs it to go. A 2-goal lead here, and I have a feeling that's going to be the dagger for this game.
Yeah.
As Cloud9 looking to take the lead in this series, which will do just that here. Gimmick trying to kill some time. AXB didn't advance on that, and I think Space Station realizes that they are beat this time. Good move, I think, by Space Station. Don't just stop the bleeding. Let's move on. And Cloud9 take the lead in the series, 2-1. Space Station, I mentioned it before, they weren't challenging like they were in games 1 and 2. So they didn't seem to ever be able to get any ball control. Cloud9 took advantage of that immediately, moving the ball as quickly as possible down the pitch. They realized what was going on fairly early in this particular game and just started to take control of the ball, put good shots on net, and there you go, netted them 4. I think that this was a demonstration by Cloud9 as to their ability to change their strategy right in the middle of a game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do still have to criticize Cloud9 on their conversion of chances though, because this game could have gone a lot more like a lot worse for Space Station, to put it that way. Their defense didn't really convince me this time around. There were kinks in the previous games, but this time they were just in complete disarray most of the time. Cloud9 missed a lot of open nets, missed a lot of clear opportunities, missed a lot of plays where they were just one easy pass away from scoring. And while they did get that 10-second goal to get the lead back to 2, that was a situation that they never should have allowed Space Station Gaming to play themselves into, just having 1 goal to catch up on, because those are the situations where motivation and passion hit an all-time high. You have 1 goal to catch up to, and you have 10 seconds to do it. And this is a good passing play blocked by AXB after a bit of a blunder up in front by Space Station, giving up the ball way too easily.
Shot from midfield there by Gimmick. It'll be Arsenal on the pickup, though. Challenged by Squishy. Squishy wrapping it around. AXB, nice block here. And it seems like play has definitely slowed down. Space Station waiting for the ball to come to them. You never want to do that against the Cloud9, especially when they're starting to challenge the ball properly and in their favor.
Sipico carries that one off into the corner. Squishy trying to get it past AXB. Impeccable pressure coming around right now from Space Station Gaming. Torment and Gimmick and Squishy passing the ball back and forth between one another. Gimmick trying to bump everyone out of the way, but Arsenal is still in position. Who else but Arsenal? And one player from Space Station Gaming who has been pulling off incredible and nigh impossible saves left and right in this series. Incredible defensive effort. Yet again, we remain scoreless. Second attempt from Arsenal, and that goes wide, is saved by Gimmick off of the post. Squishy trying to turn it around quickly for a counter. Can't quite make it happen. Now Arsenal is going to try to dribble this one. Goes for the bump. Torment saves it. Another infield pass coming in. Gimmick will keep control of this ball. But man, Space Station Gaming, they are really looking to ram that door in.
I mean, they are, but they're also slowing down when they really shouldn't be slowing down. They got to get these passes more on point, and they really need to challenge this ball quite honestly just a ton faster. Cloud9 is playing peak. It seems like they've warmed up nicely, and they're not allowing Space Station to take the chances that they were able to take before. Look at that ball control.
Torment winning that 50. Typical still on the side wall. Arsenal missing that touch. Now Arsenal and AXB are one well-played pass away from having no chance of getting to the ball. Gimmick goes wide for that one. Couldn't have been a pass because no one was really backing him up there. And they give up ball control to Space Station. So yet again, we have a scoreless game at halftime unless Squishy makes this one. No, it is a scoreless game. Gimmick going for the bump onto Typical, but he does get pretty free clear. And that shot from AXB also didn't really quite show any teeth. Both teams are slowing down now, not really being aggressive anymore.
Kind of wondering if the mindsets have changed a little bit, you know, getting just a touch tired. It's been an intense 3 games so far. And Space Station, they're not playing the way they were before, although that right there was reminiscent of Game 2. Beautifully done there.
And it started with all 3 players from Cloud9 in the same corner, and then Squishy caves to the pressure from Typical yet again, like a football player, makes him fumble the ball, and it ends up right in front of the net. You do not ever want to find yourself with all 3 of your players in one corner. That's just asking to get scored on.
You might as well have just punched the ticket home there. But less than 2 minutes now. Cloud9 need to get their act together. Usually they are so crisp in their plays. But it seems like they're tracking Space Station nicely. That could have been a challenge. As a shot comes through, it's off the crossbar. Gimmick does recover well. It's Arsenal hassled him. Gimmick popped up here. Typical. Looking for a pass maybe, but nobody there. Looks like defense is the name of the game here. As Gimmick shot and it's in top shelf.
So I guess it wasn't a whiff after all. He just let it through for Gimmick. Squishy, perfect rebound off the corner. Torment fakes it. Both AXB and the other defender try to defend that shot. Says Gimmick, thank you for that open net, and takes it. Ties up the game, 1 goal apiece, minute and 30 on the clock. Yet again, it's all coming down to potentially just 1 goal.
AXB up. Can't do anything with it. Squishy will look for Gimmick. Stopped by Arsenal, and that's what we've been looking for from Space Station since Game 1. They were doing it a lot in Game 2, and they're able to win that.
Oh my goodness.
Stops.
Got to score that. Typical, another attempt. Comes off the crossbar as well. And that's another 100%er that should have been scored.
Right. They're not building a brick wall or anything. It's Cloud9's allowing these shots to come through. Although a demo might help, it will not, as Torment gets a nice long clear here. Less than a minute, Space Station is fighting tooth and nail, and possibly with their feet. I don't know. It's hard to tell. They have wheels all over them.
I mean, they gotta. There's just 1 goal away from drop down to the lower bracket. Squishy, making sure this series does not go to a Game 4, at least for the time being. Excuse me, to a Game 5. We have AXB off the side wall. Torment taking his sweet time with that one. Typical past the midfield line. Gimmick blocks it with his trunk. Tries to wrap around. Cloud9ers just setting up for that 1 surgical strike, for that 1 potential buzzer beater. There it is. Shot on target. Goes wide. AXB opens up another play for Space Station Gaming. Gimmick stops it dead short. On the midfield line, we are going into overtime in game number 4.
Good move by Arsenal. Just go ahead and kill the ball. Let's move into overtime. Now have a bit of a chance here. Cloud9, if I remember right, they're notorious for not being able to convert on overtimes. Been a little while since I've looked up that stat. It's typical off the sidewall. It'll be Squishy on the stop. AXB looking to wrap around, just keep the ball in play. Nobody really there to help them out. Arsenal comes around. Not a great challenge there. Typical. That's too much of a pinch. Good boost steal by Arsenal here. That's going to keep the ball on the offensive.
Oh, beautiful.
Typical. Can't thread the needle. AXB bops it right in. Beautifully done.
And that was such a beautiful setup by AXB right there to open up the play onto Typical. Should have scored that right there, but didn't. But AXB saves it just beautifully. Sideways flip into the ball to make the goal at an angle. Beautifully played by Space Station, and we are going to game number 5.
Cloud9, you know, when the ball gets close to their net and it's on the ground, everybody kind of panics. If it's in the air, they seem to just call it out and calmly clear it away. No problem. So maybe Space Station needs to start taking the game to the ground. Dangerous when Cloud9 when it's one-on-one, but it seems like when Cloud9 get grouped up, go to the ground and see what happens, get those direct passes going, and maybe force Cloud9 to panic a little bit.
Well. Despite the shortcomings of both teams, who haven't really been playing at their best abilities so far. So far. It's still a long night. There's still plenty of games to play. We have an entire lower bracket to go through. And so do both of these teams. So nothing is set in stone just yet. They still have plenty of time to warm up. But we're going to game number 5, and Space Station are going to be very happy about that, despite knowing that they could have prevented this. They could have prevented it from coming down to just to game 5. They could have pretty much sealed the deal at this point if they had scored that one overtime 100%er. But at the very least, they still took it to game 5, and taking Cloud9 to game 5 is already an accomplishment in and of itself. And now here we go. Who is going to move on to meet Ghost in the upper bracket? Demolition onto Sipical. Gimmick in the corner now. Arsenal trying to wrap around it. Torment gets a pass played on top of him. Sends it off into the corner. And a long range clear from Space Station. This is just... They are just way too careless with their space, with their ball control right now.
You talking about Space Station?
Both teams, really.
Both teams, okay. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that both teams are challenging every single ball, which, I mean, you need to, especially against Cloud9. Cloud9 getting a touch flustered, it seems like sometimes, as play still on the Cloud9 end. But once the ball passes into the Cloud9 end, Space Station start to challenge nicely. They're playing smart. They're trying to take over boost, and it does seem like they have been improving quite a bit. All that time spent in the Beyond tournaments has been helping out quite a bit, even if it is twos play. Doesn't matter for these guys. They play so well together. They may not have the mechanical ability of a Gimmick or a Squishy, but it doesn't matter when that synergy is there. They can nail those passes. The shot comes out. Arsenal will go wide.
Goes wide indeed. Space Station want to force the issue on this offense. Typical. Not going to be enough for a double tap. No boost in his tank whatsoever. Keeping the ball in the corner for the time being. AXB beats Squishy to that ball. Comes off the backboard. Good touch. Important touch from Gimmick. Long range clear. Squishy gets speed to the ball, though. Gimmick's going to pick up on that. Try to back pass it, but Typical getting into this play, and that one's going to end up on the goal line. Gimmick just narrowly able to pick that ball up. Transition into a dribble. Picks up a fresh tank of boost while he's on his way. Carries it all the way in front. Twitch gets blown up, Gimmick gets blown up, and Sipical is going to try to run away with this one. Sets up a shot for Arsenal, both him and Squishy flying past the ball. Yet again, a scoreless game. And yet again, both teams being very careless with their chances. What a shot indeed. AXB pulling out the miracle save on that one, but Squishy, he's not done. He wants to get that goal. He won't get it, loses control of the ball. Sipical trying to carry that out of the corner, but Arsenal with a long-range clear. What a shot that was.
That was a beautiful shot. You know, this game sort of feels like rugby almost. They're just in each other's faces, and the crowd goes wild.
Oh, what a save! Squishy gets another one. Tries to turn it into a counter. This is insanity.
Literal insanity. Is Arsenal has play this one. You don't want to do that against Gimmick for sure. As AXB towards the net again, and they're starting to just fling balls at the net. That's not a good thing for Space Station. Cloud9 will retaliate quickly. We've seen that before. As AXB moves it around, we're going around the world, everyone.
Certainly are. Torment trying to set something up off of the ceiling. Gimmick sends it to the corner. Looking for a pass on to Squishy. He launches another shot on target. Another potent one. AXB yet again there to save it. Sipical off to the sidelines. Gimmick off the backboard. Torment will get a shot here. Sends it off the backboard. Doesn't really follow it up. No one follows it up. Squishy intercepting that clear attempt. Space Station thinking about going all in there for a moment, and Arsenal quickly returns, wraps around. That ball is dead, and Squishy will gladly slam it into the net for the goal.
AXB trying to challenge this right here, just doesn't get the touch he's looking for. It was a panic challenge for sure. Squishy playing third man back. It's exactly what he needed to do. Just move that ball towards the net, and it was enough to put him on the board. A minute and a half left, actually a minute 20, I should say, and Space Station have their work cut out for them if they don't want to go to the loser's bracket.
And they gotta meet NRG in the losers bracket, and man, that would be a thankless job. First have to beat Cloud9, then you have to beat NRG. Certainly not the path they want to take through this tournament, but then again, Ghost Gaming has looked incredibly strong as well, so both of the paths certainly are going to be difficult. Final minute on the board. Typical finally getting another goal chance for Space Station. It's been a while since we've seen those. It's been really all Cloud9 for the past minute or so. And Space Station getting back into this game just at the right time as well. AXP slow floater off the crossbar and carried out by Cloud9.
Was able to get a little bit on it here, but still on the Space Station end. AXB coming off the wall. Pass over to Sipical off the backboard. Couldn't get the angle he was looking for, so Arsenal picks it up. In defense. Gimmick gets there just in time as Sipical tries for the speed play. Didn't work out this time, but Space Station starting to apply pressure, and they need to apply more of it. As Arsenal bumps into Squishy in the net. AXB looking for a pass to Sipical, but Tormentor's right there to shut it down. 10 seconds left. AXB looking for it. Can he do anything with this? Not much. It'll be Squishy on the clear. That could be it.
Oh, that's going to be
one more chance.
Oh, my goodness. Nope, that's it.
That's it.
Crazy.
Ooh.
Crazy stuff. Took 5 games to do it, but Cloud9 take down Space Station Gaming. And yet again, it all came down to one singular goal. What a series. Both teams fighting tooth and nail. Both teams looking sloppy. Quite honestly spoken, for most of that series, I think towards the end, both teams started to find their groove again. Like a couple of shots from Cloud9 were just insanity, and the saves from AXB were even more insanity.
True.
Both of them played their hearts out in Game 5. If this series had been all Game 5s like this in quality of play, then holy moly, we would have seen one of the best competitive series of Rocket League in quite a while. But as it stands, Cloud9 1, Space Station 0. And in the series, Cloud9 3, Space Station 2 means the upper bracket final will be contested between Cloud9 and Ghost Gaming. The lower bracket will be contested between Space Station and NRG.
And here's the thing, though. You know, Cloud9 and Space Station face off in, I believe it's week 3 of RLCS. So this could be a precursor. Now, Cloud9 did lose to Space Station in the last RLCS league play. So I'll be honest, this could have gone either way. I think Space Station have a little bit of mind training to work on a little bit. They seem to lose focus a touch through a couple of those games where Cloud9 just sat back and worked their magic pretty much the whole way through. They never panicked, even when they were down. Didn't matter. They just ran with it, and whatever happened, happened. And I mean, there you go. Fantastic series here. And like you said, Cloud9 versus Ghost in the upper bracket, and then NRG versus Space Station in the lower bracket. And honestly, again, between all 4 of these teams, who knows still?
Oh, this is still anyone's tournament. I mean, there's a reason we've invited 4 of the best North American Rocket League teams playing on the highest level they possibly can in this sport, in this esport. No match is going to be easy for either of those teams. There's going to be favorites coming in, but we've seen in the very first match that favorites don't really mean anything when it's about teams playing in the same league, playing in the RLCS. All of them have incredible competitive experience. So this night is going to be long. This tournament is going to be hype. We hope you stick with us for as long as you possibly can, as we will try to hold up our voices for as long as we possibly can, because I think there's going to be some hype matches coming up. Next up, it is the lower bracket match between NRG and Ghost Gaming. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with the Astronauts Pro Invitational.